Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Professor Bauer. Welcome to week 7 of ICT 4100 Project Management. Hope you're doing well. Don't forget we have the live Zoom class this coming Thursday, 7 p.m., July 30th. Overview for week 7 in terms of the agenda. I want to clarify finally the RDQ issues. I think I finally gotten word from the dean that I hope will be a way to resolve this. Things that we're doing in week 7, quickly, the way that we're again looking at parachute.com in terms of the team cost estimate. So that's the week. You'll be looking at cost management in all of the objectives and all of the activities. There they are. Cost management is really important, not just at the beginning when you give an estimate, but in many ways you'll have to provide reports to your management as far as how you're handling your personnel costs, your materials costs, your production costs, etc., so that you don't have this big surprise halfway through that you're the reason the project's going so well is you have twice the amount of labor that you've budgeted for, or something crazy like that. So keep that in mind. Again, step by step in chapters 18 and 19. Getting through step by step. Hopefully it's turning out to be worth your time and effort. Okay, I've given a name to my pain, and it is RDQ. I finally got the right answer, and of course it's a change, and it will necessitate a few things on your part, but I'm going to do everything on my part to make sure that no one gets hurt because of my lack of understanding and communication of this matter. Let me be really clear. I own this. Not the dean, not anybody in some other room. I own this for not having nailed this down sooner. RDQ is mandatory for all students whether they attend the Zoom class or not. So some of you have been doing RDQs, know all about that. But the normal face-to-face class would be 3 hours, and the RDQ kind of makes up for that because we normally go 60. I think we went 90 last time, but most of the time, a little over an hour for our class. So you need to complete the RDQ assignment and get your participation points for that week. Now, you get 200 points in the course for participation. Live Zoom is RDQ assignments. Discussion boards, class participation are not used, and the 200 points of participation come from the RDQ assignments and SED, which are published. So RDQ only is where you're going to get up to 200 points. So here's how we're going to fix this, since we're not going to go back and add RDQs where we already had discussion questions. If you've done 2 discussion answers and you've met the minimum there, you do not have to go back and put RDQs there. What we're going to do moving forward is from now on, starting in week 8, RDQs will be mandatory. So RDQ week 8, RDQ week 9, RDQ final week. Hala, we're done, okay? And then I do want you to do the discussions, the 2 discussion questions this coming week, week 7 only, because one of the discussion questions, the first one, is germane to the main assignment. So keep that in mind. Like I said, I'm very sorry about the confusion here. It's a new class, new format, and the change at the last minute to make it an on-campus, to move it from on-campus to Zoom, threw a few monkey wrenches in there. And so, but as I said earlier, my bad, my fault, my mistake, not yours. No one who's done work will not get credit for it. No one who hasn't done work will get credit for not doing work. But the folks who've done more than the normal will get a little extra credit there to the extent that I can give it. We can't give you A++++++, but we hope that we'll show a little love for those whom love has been extended our way. Okay, so you have an issue with this, just talk to me, send me an email. We'll work it out. Okay, cost estimate. This is the team project. You guys are doing great. The 3 teams are kicking it. So keep it up. Finish strong for Parachute.com. You're gonna review the project documents and take a look to see, man, do we need to fix anything? Was the original estimate wrong? This is the time to tweak things. I'd love to see some of your documents show a versioning change. You know, when you keep the versions of each of these things in some of your cost estimates and your work breakdown structure, some of the other things you've been working on, if you feel like, oh wow, we're too aggressive there, or you know what, we're moving everything to the cloud, and so we're going to start building there. So the idea of having to buy gear and find a hosting place and find a data center and all that kind of stuff, we don't need that. So look at where you can save some time and maybe allocate that time somewhere where you might need it. So then you're going to update your project plan, your WBS, any of the other project documents that you have. Select a cost estimate, top down, bottom up, whichever way. You're going to learn about those this week. You should be able to say, this is why we did this. And that's the next step. Document the trade-offs in looking at and modifying the project cost estimating methodology. Tell me why, okay? And you're going to do that in a 500 to 1,000 word, sorry about the typo there, 500 to 1,000 word summary of the trade-offs and updates you made and why, okay? The rationale should include instructor and peer feedback. This is where we got that feedback in the first discussion, or what you've learned in your course materials. Document. Some of you lost points last week because there was no documentation. Good stuff, but I know you didn't make it up, so just document. In this reading, in this video, on YouTube, or in this that I read, or in the PIBOK, just document and you'll be fine. And then you submit with that the final cost estimate, okay? So final cost estimate and a Word doc, no more than 1,000 words of the processes, the give and take, the evaluation that you went to get there, okay? The assignment measures of success are clearly stated here. Look at all the yellow highlighting. That's what I think is important. Include all the deliverables and work packages. Make sure they're updated to the extent they need to. Modify time sequences and variables to the extent they need to be modified. Make sure your WBS, if it's not as logically organized as it should have been, then go ahead, like the illustration with the cloud. If cloud is going to change your structure, then go ahead and change it. This is the time to do all that stuff. And then keep in mind the cost estimate needs to be realistic. You've got a decent budget, and make sure it's in harmony with the budget information in the Parachute.com documentation, and those costs are reasonable and reflect the way things are normally done. Rubric is your friend, and keep in mind this is a 40-point assignment, so do it well. Have a great week. We'll see you in class on this coming Thursday at 7, the Zoom class. I'll send another email out on the RDQ just to make sure that we're all on the same page there. Thanks a lot. Appreciated the feedback in last week's class. I'll begin this week's class with a couple more RDQ questions and a few comments to go over, but not too much as we review in the next 4 week 7. That's it. Have a great week. Bye-bye now.